Today I will show you how you can make perfect camping rolls by yourself with yeast. One rise, ready for the table. Here's how. My wife has the most extreme form of celiac, so we created a lot of recipes, especially this one, to give us more time and still enjoying delicious rolls in the morning. I bake these before the others get up. Perfect for your next camping trip. And what you need is a little bit of water. You need yeast, fresh yeast, but you can also use the equivalent in dry yeast. You need psyllium powder, sugar, some grapeseed oil, one flour, and I will reveal what this ingredient is all about, and one egg. And no fancy equipment, just a whisk tool, a bowl, and another whisk tool, but you can also use this one too. Let's go. The first thing you need is 225 grams of lukewarm water. And then you need 25 grams of fresh yeast. You get it inside the water like this. Then you take the whisk tool and whisk everything carefully. The yeast has to dissolve 100%. And you look beneath. Okay, perfect. The next ingredient we add is, of course, the psyllium powder. And we use only 15 grams. And you have to whisk fast, as the psyllium makes this water to a very dense jelly in no time. We let this soak for 10 minutes, and then we get on with the next ingredient, which we pour into this mixing bowl. And the next ingredient is an egg, around 40 to 60 grams, a large egg. Crack in. And the next ingredient, 15 grams of pure white sugar. And I use again my electric whisk tool, but you can also use a hand mixer or a manual whisk tool. And now we get this mixture nice and fluffy. And we whisk this for around 2 minutes. The perfect structure. The fluffier this gets, the fluffier the rolls will be. Now we get the next ingredient, 170 grams of sorghum or jova flour. It is an ancient grain that has been used in Africa for at least 5,000 to 10,000 years. And it is a kind of millet. So this is the perfect flour for these rolls. We pour it in to the egg sugar mixture, and then we add 15 grams of grapeseed oil. That's it. And now we add the mixture of yeast, water, and psyllium. And as you can see, we have a nice and firm jelly. Look at the structure. It's almost like honey. We pour it in to this mixture. And this is sticky too. So, and now we blend this as much as we can with a spatula. And it already smells delicious. The flour in itself, very nice smell. And the fresh yeast in the morning, this is something really special. And when you're on a camping trip, these rolls taste even more delicious. I think everything tastes more delicious on a camping trip outside. It's always a good idea to have these in your car, or bike, or RV, or tent. Now comes the hard work. And we knead this dough until it becomes the perfect dough. At this point you can add some rice flour or sorghum flour on top of the dough. Depends on the size of the egg. If the egg is very large, it might be too sticky to work with. And then I usually add some rice flour. But of course you can also use some more sorghum flour. Those flours consume the moisture. So now the rolls can be formed out of this dough, and we form 6 rolls of approximately 80 grams each. And to do so, we need our kitchen scale, a little bit of flour on top here. Then we need a piece of baking paper on this baking plate. And of course, you can bake these rolls in your air fryer too. But today, I will bake them in the hot air oven. I used to have a little mini oven in my RV or tent. So we need 80 grams each for these rolls. 80 grams. And we fold them like this, as they will rise in this form. Number 1. This gets a little bit messy, but on a camping trip this doesn't matter. And the kitchen can be cleaned up. Okay, a little one. The egg was very large, so we get 7 nice sorghum rolls. 1 for testing. So, the camping rolls are now prepared for the baking process. But first of all, we get them a nice topping with both sesame seeds and white birch seeds. Okay, I use some whole milk to wash the top of these rolls, like this. You can also use water, but I personally prefer milk. Of course, you can also use egg white. Now we make half with sesame seeds. You can add sesame, birch, nigella, rolled oats, what you like. And then I use a spoon to get the seeds more attached to the dough. Now we let the camping rolls rise for approximately 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. It depends on the climate and the temperature. This is room temperature. We give them 15 minutes. Now the camping rolls have risen, and we will bake these in our hot air oven at 210 degrees Celsius or 410 degrees Fahrenheit for 13 minutes. And if you want to bake them in your air fryer, you give them 13 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Then you flip them over and give them 3 minutes more on the other side. And they will be perfect, I tell you. Now, let's get these in the oven. The oven is preheated. And we place the rolls in the middle of the oven. Close the lid and give them 13 minutes. Now the 7 camping rolls are ready, and let's get them out of the oven. Here they are. You can flip them and knock. If it sounds like this. And now we get them on the cooling rack. And this is the bonus one. It depends on the size of the egg. Therefore, you might get 7 or larger ones. These have a perfect size for also as a burger bun. But we will eat them this morning for breakfast. Now, while these are still warm, I will cut them open. Smoking and fluffy, with a crispy shell, but chewy inside. I'm already excited for the taste test. And I will taste this one. For the perfect taste test, I have moved outside the perfect ambience for this delicious dish. Have a look. The camping roll, some wild cherry homemade jam, some butter, and a glass of milk. Perfect for the morning. And now it's tasting time. I take the camping buns, rolls, some butter, and the homemade wild cherry jam on top. Wow, these are fantastic. The best rolls ever, I can tell you. Perfect. Look at this. Delicious. If you like this recipe and you tried it by yourself, write us a comment. Perfect.